This will be a quick one. So I want to start off by giving all praises, glory, honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors and salutes to the elders, the apostles, the elder bishops, and greetings to the hopeful elect, the few, the remnant. All right, the true biblical bloodline Hebrew Israelites, which are you so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, as well as the Israelite foreigner Gentiles that might look like the heathen nations. Greetings. I'm gonna play this lesson and I want to come back here. Okay. Damn, I'm gonna have to rewrite it because it's gonna disappear once I play this video. So let's play this video to jump right into it.
Americans have finally decided to start using the Second Amendment against ICE agents in Chicago.
1 second, let me pull this up, man. It's gonna take a second. That's crazy. Every time you leave something, the goddamn what you call it, everything restarts. Every time you leave a page on this phone. So I had everything queued up and I gotta let it there it is. Okay, listen to this.
Like on some real shit.
Now I don't want to hear this. Okay, this is again the NW dodging accountability. There's a reason why our elders and ourselves, we tell you to stay away from the so-called black woman. Okay, because according when you have an understanding of the Bible, Eve was responsible for our downfall, the sons of God, and they hate us. I mean, it's a curse. It's nothing. It's actually divine. It's a curse. The same way the Israelite man fornicated against their husband, because the word husband, married means joined. Okay, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, we transgressed, we broke the covenant, perpetually. Our forefathers, even us, we weren't always enlightened to this truth. We weren't always serving the Most High. We were caught up into religion, idol worship, whatever, the Most High is allowing us to feel what it's like to not have your woman. Okay, because we're parabolically, our symbolism is likened unto a comely, a beautiful and delicate woman unto the Most High, the righteous men of the Lord. Okay, so now our women, when you read Deuteronomy, even in I believe that's Hosea, I haven't been able to find that scripture again. It speaks about how our women will be harlots in the streets, in the cities, and they won't be punished. Okay, and they've had a cool little window to be out here, be promiscuous, do whatever they wanted. Now the chickens are coming home to roost. And there is a penalty. There is a consequence. The scriptures speak about the seeds you sow. You sow to the flesh, you're going to receive corruption. You sow to the spirit of the Most High, you're going to receive blessings and gifts of the spirit, growth. Okay, eyes to see, ears to hear, healing. Okay, confidence. Okay, everything in contrary to, low self-esteem. These people, everyone has some type of spiritual infirmity. But the spirit of the Lord, okay, it'll set you up on high. It'll and majority of these women, okay, you wasn't forced to do anything. You chose, okay? You chose to follow the serpent because it sounded good. Eve, you chose to follow the serpent. Who is the serpent? Because the serpent is just a analogy or a parabolic character which represents a nation of people. Serpent-like, deceptive, subtle, okay, evil people. All right, crafty people, the Edomites, the so-called white man. All right, and now since the chickens are coming home to roost, whatever that means, okay, the devil, okay, Esau Edom is divorcing you. All right, the serpent is divorcing you, Israelite women, because you belong to us. And okay, he understands he can't trust you. The super elite don't want nothing to do with you. They use you and weaponize you against us. Okay,
I don't think y'all understand what they do.
But how can they trust you if you disloyal to your own kind? That's what you don't get. You know, it's just like a person that come to you super naive and stupid and just doing stupid shit, you know, like, and they might be thinking that they're being a good person or whatever, or they're just, you know, just super simple. Or, you know, if you're not a righteous person, you're going to find it hard for yourself to respect that person. Somebody that's just, they won't even do for themselves. They're just a kiss ass yes person. They'll give you everything before they even look out for themselves. Just stupid, simple, naive, you know, you lose respect. How much more, okay, you Israelite women that you look like us. You don't look like these nations. Okay? Even these devils be thinking like, damn. They'll use you because you're so, you know, you're submissive to them. You're a slave. I mean, who wouldn't? You know what I mean? But so let's play this, because you can see how she's trying to shake off all the accountability. And the Most High gonna get rid of you dudes in the comment boards, man. You sensitive, emotional, soft mama boys, man. Lord gonna get rid of you, man. Okay, you're not fit for the battles to come, man. All right, the Lord is gonna send you, as the scriptures say, the bride shall mourn, okay, having no grooms. The Most High gonna take out all you men that are in these marriages that done had children with these women, and they're gonna be left alone because you're the prime reason why everything is at a standstill. These women can't even take accountability because here you come, okay? You won't even allow these women to take accountability, okay, or to see where they're going off because you so head over heels. You're so much of a good worshiper of Asheroth, the queen of heaven demon. Okay, worship the woman demon. You know, we're gonna go into that because you women have played the issue of Jezebel, and we're gonna just read a little piece of her fate, what she went through. Okay, you're not gonna get out of this, man. The damage is done. You know, how many generations of children, Israelite men, you done destroyed the relationships between the fathers. Okay, this is the elephant in the room that nobody wants to speak about. Okay, nobody wants to really speak about up front about the so-called Edomite fatigue, so-called white fatigue, and you. Okay, now they're speaking about black fatigue, but really that comes from you Keishas and you Big Shirleys, and the men, okay, that you choose to breed with, and the children you have, those monsters, man, because you don't want to breed with normal sane men. Okay. Even that, the act of that has destroyed our nation, okay? And the stats are out there, okay? All of you nappy-headed demons, you all sleep with the same Tyrone, Pookies, and Ray Rays, man, and Chads, okay? Now you want to sit up here and say, man, we need each other. They made us do this. They didn't make us do nothing. Look, I came up in the middle of the 80s. I was subjected to all the same programming. And I couldn't understand why you niggas was so hateful. Why you people were so hateful. So it's no excuse. I was exposed to it too. And on every end, you know, I just got the goddamn back from you motherfuckers. And never, you niggas always been wicked, man. Especially you black women. You fast, wicked. Nobody can tell you nothing. Okay? Disrespectful to your fathers. You don't hold your fathers, your brothers in high esteem. Okay, let's play this, man.
Into our communities. We used to love each other. We used to have families. It didn't have to be like it didn't have to be what it is now. It doesn't have to, and it's not too late to change our thinking and our ways and our understanding of what's going on. It's not too late. It's not too late to change and love each other, because at the end of the day, that's what they feel.
Love, according to the Bible, is the keeping of the commandments. Why don't you niggas want to come back to the Lord? Okay, I don't trust nobody that don't want to come back to the Lord, man. I don't trust you, okay? I don't trust you motherfuckers, man. You have no fear of the Lord. You have no root. You have no foundation. So why would we listen to this madness? You've already showed us what your root is, what your foundations are. Completely evil. You see? And now that you're hurting, right? The Lord said he's going to come upon you like a thief in the night. Now, since, okay, adversities are coming out of nowhere, it seemed like, because the Lord is rising up to punish the people, the inhabitants of the earth. Now, oh, we need each other. We need each other. Nah, nigga. Okay. What's going to happen is the Lord going to get rid of you, all of you wicked 2/3 of our people that was all wrapped up into this world. Okay. And you chose not to repent and listen to the Hebrew Israelite, the prophets, man. Okay. Not all the Hebrew Israelites, because you have a lot of false prophets among the camps, but among a great millstone, you have the prophets of the Lord, man, the 144,000. So let's finish playing this.
They don't want us to have families. They don't want us to be together and connected with one another. They don't want us to love ourselves first. They don't want us to love each other.
They didn't make you put wigs in your hair, okay, and make you teach your children, your husbands, okay, to worship white Jesus. Okay, they didn't make you hate your own self, the way you look, your hair, and then pass that on to your children and perm your daughter's hair at 6 years old. She got it perm. You teach her self-hate too. Okay. And really, that self-hatred comes from these so-called black women, because the so-called black man is fucked up as he is. He still holds some weight in society. The Michael Jacksons, the Michael Jordans. You got suburb white kids that idolize Jake. Okay? And there's a lot of envy from these nappy-headed fucking demons. Okay? That's why these demons get on social media in front of the whole world and act as if they got the scoop on us, as we ain't shit. So that these other women, okay, won't want us. Okay, it's too bad. We're going to get into the scripture. Let me just finish letting this play out. Because look at this. And the thing is, these demons could do anything they want to you men out there. And as soon as they just, put on a little cry or whatever, you niggas are just, that's why you got to go, man. Because the Lord is not hearing that, man. The Lord knows you people's hearts, man. And it ain't been right ever. And it ain't right now, okay? You wanna get around, okay, your judgment. But no. Deal with
that. Why wouldn't we do that? Like, that just makes sense to me. Because growing up, I saw like all of the shit that happened in my life, and I realized how much of it came from not loving each other, not having community. I had a family, and none of us loved each other. None of us love ourselves. You have to love yourself first before you can love others. So that's the start of it. They don't want us to love us. They don't want us as black people.
In my family, every negative thing and evil thing in my family, which I got a big family, okay, it was all from the women. All the division, all of the adultery, all of the marriages being split up, all of the psychological games, okay, behind the door deals. It was all the fucking black woman, all right? And I didn't understand that okay, dealing with these motherfuckers was the root of all my problems until I came into the truth, man, Having children with these motherfuckers is a problem. Getting in a relationship with these motherfuckers is a problem. Working around these motherfuckers is a problem. Ordering your goddamn food is a goddamn problem. I mean, goodness gracious.
To look at ourselves and see beauty. They don't want us to do that. They don't want us to be happy. And with that, that means that if we can't love us, we can't love each other. That means we can't build families. We can't have a community, because they know that's the real thing. Community. Us having a community together is a real problem. That's a real issue. A bunch of niggas.
It tells you in Genesis that the serpent seed will be at enmity with the woman and her seed. The woman represents the nation of Israel. Okay, because though it was speaking about Eve, okay, Eve is the mother, of Israel, and Adam was the father. But the thing is, the whole nation, which the Lord is dealing with the men, is likened unto a comely, delicate woman. It tells you that in Jeremiah, and also it explains Israel as a woman in the book of Revelations, how she had to flee from the Romans. It goes into that. We had to flee into the wilderness. Because men and women are joined together through marriage. That's why it likens the Israelite man as a nation being under a covenant, married to the Most High. Okay. I mean, Eve, she's created a whole nother nation, okay, of evil gremlins with her and Pookie and Ray Ray. She sold out the average. They don't want the average Israelite man. They think they better than you. They think they can beat you up. Okay? Now you want to cry.
That love each other? Oh hell. That's gonna be some shit. That's gonna be a motherfucker. But y'all don't understand. Y'all so bitter. You so hurt. I get it. I was hurt for a long time. I was so hurt for a long time. And I had to stop. Because it was hurting me even more.
Yeah, how many bodies you got? Now you hurt. Okay, you're useless. What man wants a woman with all of these bodies, all this trauma? You know, save it for the afterlife, man. Okay, save it for the goddamn afterlife. Let me get Micah 7 and 9, because this is what she's experiencing, man. Okay, this is what she's experiencing, and some of them are too dumb to be able to put two and two together, so they still talking shit and scoffing. Okay, but the ones that can see death and poverty and homelessness coming, they're starting to get afraid. Okay. This is Micah, because we've been telling you, you bugged out niggas, okay, keep that same energy. And you think because you can go into your comment board and see all the simps pacify you, that you're going to be all right, okay? Any man that's in the state of these men in the comment boards, I didn't go to the comment board, but pacifying these evil, wicked women, man, when the day happens anyway, they ain't gonna be able to help you because they're not in the right mindset. They're not in the right spirit. That's a very weak, docile, simple, okay, carrot up the ass type spirit, man. And you're gonna have the spirit of vengeance on men out here, man. It's gonna be the real strongest survive out here, man. Ain't no man that behaves himself like a simp, beta, bitch ass nigga, okay? Them niggas gonna either have to go just hide, okay, in the sewer, pick that lid up, or off themselves, or just get unalived in the streets. This is Micah 7 and 10. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it. She sees it. She sees what's coming. She sees the division. Okay, there's no community. And what she really sees is that the Israelite woman, predominantly the so-called black woman, the Judite woman, has no one to run to. Okay, no one to run to. Yeah, they got a few Pookies and Ray Ray, but them niggas is retarded. Them niggas is retarded. They're void of any understanding. They're void of any righteousness. Shit, if all hell break loose and you get caught up with them, man, they ain't gonna have no righteousness. They might just have it in their mind to gang rape you to deletion. That's how niggas act. They're brutish. They're like wild animals. You know, so you women are going to learn to appreciate righteous men. You know, right now, these Pookies and Ray Rays are still under the mama's boys. Okay. But, you know, they're going to despise you women when all hell breaks loose because it ain't going to be no food. Okay. They finally going to be able to get, where was I going? It was something. I was going somewhere else, but yeah, I got off track. It says, then she that is my enemy shall see it. Yeah, she sees that there's no real men, okay, that they can run to give them comfort. All right, the Edomite man, the so-called white man, don't want nothing to do with you. You might have a couple Chads here and there that are actually Jakes, or a lot of them, these so-called white men, the Edomite men, they women like Jake, the Negro, Latino, Native American man. So it's right up their alley to get a subservient black woman that looks at herself like a monkey slave, okay, and wants a master. Esau can walk around his own and say, you see, I got me one. I got me a little monkey. That's kind of like how, years ago, they were adopting all them little black children. You think that was just for charity? Come on, dog. It was a fad. Like, look. It represents power. They like to empower themselves and feel, above, but you have nowhere to run to. Everybody's so sick of you women in general, but you so-called black women, that I see videos all the time. If something happens in public to one of you, nobody bats an eye. Okay? And that's the spirit of the Lord. It says, Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy power? And that's what you so-called black women been saying to the Israelite man for over 60 years. But this captivity that we're in, because yes, we're in captivity, that's what you've been saying. Okay, you pretty much, okay, you've been looking at the so-called white man as the authority, but to your own men, okay, you've been a traitor, a treasonous. You've bought into all this, the philosophies of the serpent. You, okay, the ways of this world. You didn't want the correction from the, all right. You separated yourself. Black girl magic, black girl this, black girl that, black woman God, all of that shit. Then what would that make the so-called black man? When you have to get the seed from him to bring forth life, you just incubate that seed. So the life starts with the man. Okay, you've helped the serpent push all of this evil, wicked doctrine around the whole earth to deceive the world, to pretty much make the world hate the Most High's men. Job 9:24, the earth was given into the hands of the wicked, and he covereth the faces of the judges thereof. You took part in that, man. Okay, the wicked are the Edomites, the so-called white man. It says, because he's giving you liberty. Okay, the serpent gave you a false liberty, a pseudo liberty, that you could be liberated under the strict rule of the Israelite man. And now it's coming home to hit you that it was all, you know, he set you up. Because at the end of the day, when these nations go to war, man, when these civil wars and these race riots pop off, as it says, where is that? I think it's in Jeremiah. It says about, you know, when Babylon, when it gets to a certain point, people, you know, are going to start leaving Babylon and returning to their own nation, their own kindred. So during the time of war, everybody is for their own. And where are you, the so-called black women going to go? Okay, where you think you're going to go, that's not going to be sufficient because your men are destroyed. Okay, they were all raised by single mothers. They're emotional. Okay, they're so emotional, they're void of any knowledge. The average so-called black dude is tatted up with dreads and he don't even know how to throw a punch. He can't even shoot a gun correct. Okay, nigga's dumb as hell. He can't even see what the enemy is doing. Nigga, you know. So you have nowhere to run to, Keisha. All right. It says, mine eye shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. Yeah, you're going to be laid even with the ground out here. And ain't nobody, it's going to be the wrath of the Lord. Now, I looked up in Chat GBT, right? I put, who is Jezebel according to the Bible? Because I just wanted to get a brief explanation. You know, I didn't want this to be too long because if I actually go through the scriptures, we have to go. You know, man, what the hell going on now, man? What the hell is up with this? Okay, who is Jezebel according to the Bible? All right, in the Bible, Jezebel is one of the most infamous queens of ancient Israel. In the word queen means a prostitute. All right, there is no queen. There was never no queens in among our people, because a queen, okay, she could be a princess, but she needs a king. All right, a queen that has all that authority. That's why a queen is known as a prostitute. If a woman is really ruling, it's obvious that she's backed by a military full of males, right? But she's sleeping with whoever, she's sleeping with other higher status men. So you nigger women, you like to call yourself queens. Okay. One of the most infamous queens of ancient Israel, known for her idolatry, manipulation, and opposition to God's prophets. That's why I went into Job 9:24. He covered the faces of the judges thereof and the anointed ones. All right. The wicked, the serpent, the so-called white man. Because the anointed ones are the Most High's elect and the prophets. Okay, his judges, the Most High and his Son are the ultimate judge, and his men. It says her story appears mainly in the books of 1 Kings and 2 Kings. Okay. Her father was the king of the Sidonians, so she was a Hamite. Okay, and that's why the Israelite man, we can use any heathen woman as a concubine, as a toy, but you're not supposed to marry her spiritually and take on her ideologies and gods. And that's what King Ahab of Israel was doing, and that's why he got destroyed as well. He took on a real African woman. Okay, because you Negroes and the true Hamites, the real Africans in the different tribes that are on that continent, you're not the same people. Okay, you Negroes are from Jerusalem. Even though Jerusalem is on the continent of Africa, okay, you got different lines of people, okay, in that region. You got the line of Japheth, you got the line of Shem, and you got the line of Ham. Okay. Okay, the land of Ham, all right. And then the more upward east you go, you got Shem. That's where we come from. Because everybody was dark in the beginning, dark skin. And then the more north, then you got Shem, and then you got Japheth. But let's finish. It says, roles and actions. Jezebel was a Phoenician princess who married Ahab as a part of political alliance. She introduced and promoted the worship of Baal, Satan, okay, and all of those mythical gods, which are actually demons. I just did a lesson going into that. I don't know if I uploaded it. Deities, okay. Deities, you know, demons are higher intellect, spirits of higher intellect that they'll enter you, use you as a host, but they'll also use things around you, symbols, names, okay, idols. That's why you see these idols. They actually represent something deeper and darker, a spirit that comes over to people. Okay, and in this case, it's the spirit of, okay, satanic practices, sacrifices, and woman worship. There's nothing wrong with loving women for who they were created to be, but to worship them and follow them. Okay, no, the Most High set up men to lead and make decisions. Women are not capable. It says Baal, a Canaanite storm god, and Asheroth. Yeah, this is where you get the holiday Easter, the bunny rabbit with eggs. It goes back to the, you know, they dress it up to make it cute, but it actually goes back to the worship of woman. Okay, Asheroth or Ishtar, the fertility goddess. Okay, which is the queen of heaven. All right, meaning that you have whole societies that worship women, like Egypt. Okay, women, pharaohs and all of that madness, man. Which is pointless because the woman is going to always need the men to back them up. Okay, to set them in power. Okay, women can't come into power. All of that motherfucking these movies, Marvel movies with, you know, Black Panther, the women soldiers, man. That's all fugazi, man. It's just a movie, man. It says leading the people away from worshiping Yahweh because his name is not Yahweh. Okay. She persecuted and killed the prophets of the Lord. 1 Kings 18:4. And that's the spirit that's on these women today. There's nothing worse these Israelite women, okay, considered than the word of the Lord. All right. And that's why on a world scale, okay, I want to do a lesson going into this video. Brother this did, which I posted it days ago, a panel of so-called black women sitting up having a panel with Esau, the so-called white man, telling the so-called white man how they need the so-called white man to step in and do something about the so-called black man. And really what she was saying in the interview is, can y'all get rid of them? You know, why? Because Jake, there's a spirit, even Jake that's still in the world, okay, there's a spirit that's on Jake now. Okay, manhood is being, okay, exalted back in the earth again via the prophets. Because the prophets, we've been out here, that energy, that vibration is out here. Okay, the black man growing their beard and exercising their rights as Israelite men dealing with the heathen women. Okay, not putting up with these black women's bullshit no more, man. Seeing through the bullshit. So now these women want us dead. And that's a righteous spirit. Even though Jake is not in the truth, they don't know what they're doing. There's still a righteous spirit that's still in the earth where Jake is, cleaning themselves up, going to the gym, okay, putting down the cigarettes. The only ones that's still on this weird ass, this black culture shit is these niggas that's all up under these black women, man. Okay? So there's a righteous spirit going out. And that's why that woman, when you read about John the Baptist, it was the end of it was the black woman, okay, that got him executed for nothing, just because he spoke up on something that he was supposed to speak up on, some wickedness that was going on. And you see that Jezebel spirit in these women today. All right, so you are the fucking black woman, okay? Because this was a real black woman right here, Jezebel. She wasn't an Israelite woman. She was a heathen. She was a Canaanite, a Hamite. Okay. And she black. The word black deals with void of light, wicked, evil, darkness. Because y'all wanna hold on to that title. It says, so she was persecuting the prophets, man. Because the prophets always had a message. They're gonna tell you they're gonna tell you when you're going off. She was a bitter enemy of the prophet Elijah, who challenged her prophets of Baal on the Mount Carmel. And that's where Elijah the prophet called down fire from heaven. I want to reread that though before I do a lesson. Jezebel plotted to kill Naboth, so Ahab, her husband, could seize his vineyard in 1 Kings 21st chapter. I remember reading that. This act of injustice drew strong condemnation from Elijah. Yeah, that's why she was trying to hunt down Elijah and kill Elijah. Okay, because she used manipulation, and her husband Ahab was the king at the time. He didn't have no backbone. So she was running the show. Okay? She was running the show over her man, over an Israelite man at that. And that's how you men act today. King Ahab was a beta. Okay? And she was a strong woman. That's a heathen custom. You see what I'm saying? That's a heathen custom. All right? And so the spirit that y'all in today, that diva spirit, the boss bitch, that's an actual heathen custom that goes back to the goddess of Kali, okay, or the diva goddess, which is a demon, all right, with functionality through, it's called a tutelary deity, all right. They can channel themselves in and out of these dimensions through these symbols and through these ideas, once you adopt them, okay. It says, the prophet Elijah foretold her violent death in 1 Kings, the 21st chapter. Yeah, because she was thrown head first, out of it's gonna say it. It says, Jezebel plotted to kill. Yeah, so she tried to get Naboth killed so she could take his vineyard. And she knew that her husband was a king because he didn't want to do it. But she set it up, The prophet, Elijah foretold her violent death. Later, Jehu, a military commander anointed to destroy Ahab's dynasty, had Jezebel thrown from a window where she died and was eaten by dogs. Okay, Elijah prophesied that that's how she was going to die. So her own military commander, the spirit just hit him one day. Okay, he told some men to throw her out of the window. She was up high in a window. I believe it was the palace. It says, and then she hit the ground and she wasn't dead, but she died when she got eaten by those dogs. And we just read it in Micah 7:9, how, she should be trodden down in the streets. You see, fulfilling Elijah's prophecy in 2 Kings, the 9th chapter, 30th verse through 37th verse. Symbolism and legacy. Jezebel became a symbol of wickedness, idolatry, and false religion. That's you women. Because the religions of this world is all false, from tarot card reading to the psychic readings to Christianity to Islam. okay, to Buddhism, to what you call spiritual while you burning sage and crystals. No, that's not coming in. No. All right, no. That's not it. It says in the New Testament, the name Jezebel is used metaphorically in Revelations 2 and 20 to describe a false prophetess who led Christians in Thyatira into immorality and idolatry. All right, and really that should say Mashayakim, because the word Christian is a Greek word to say anointed. And these were here, the ones you call Christians, all right, in the ancient world were Israelites, Hebrew Israelites. And their language was Hebrew. So they were anointed, but they would have been called Mashayakim, the anointed ones, not the Christians. Okay. But with that, man, we're gonna wrap it up. Give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Shai. Lord's willing, this was edifying. Shalom.